Right, we've got another stinking hot day. Thought we'd do an update on the palms, mainly in the centre bed, but we'll look at some other ones as well. Basically all the ones that spear pulled, and we'll see what's recovered and what hasn't. So I'm pleased to say it's pretty much not 100% recovery, bar one, and we'll save that one to the end. But let's start with the centre bed, because where we had the most of the damage, because these are sort of quite small sort of palms which are totally unprotected, and some you'd expect to be hardy, some that are pushing the luck a little bit, but let's go through them anyway. So the palms we've got a Buteo odorata, which I'd say sustained no damage. There is a little bit of discoloration on the small area, but in general done really well. No spear pulled through, no problem. Of course we know the Brahea edulis here, totally defoliated, just went brown after the first freeze in December and spear pulled a week later. Thought that was a goner, huge cavity down the centre of it, and so we done the hydrogen peroxide like I did with all the palms on a weekly basis and kept it dry, put a plastic cloche over it, and the first one pushed out, obviously a little bit sort of deformed. This is the second one, looking a little bit better, and now it's pushing the third one as well. So still amazes me, it's still a miracle in my eyes. Alright, so a few weeks ago I done a video, and I think I actually pulled a whole, I had a spear pull on this, but there was a leaf that looked green, and I gave it a little tug and it just fell out, and I thought this was a goner. But again, if we can see down there, we've got 3 new little spears pushing out. So that's the Trachycarpus princeps, nice white backside, and that is now pushing out. So that's a good success story there. We had the sago palm here, which I dug up because it defoliated, and I didn't really want to look at it and wait for it to flush out. So we dug that out, and I was surprised actually how deep the roots were, and there's a big subterranean trunk on it, and that had about 2 or 3 big growing points on it. So that's definitely not dead, but that's potted up now out the way, so I don't have to wait for a year or so for it to recover. And we put in this little Bright Star yucca instead, give a blast of colour. So this is the Chamaerops humilis cerifera, which spear pulled. So we lost about 3 or 4 spears from the centre, but as we can see, there's actually a half leaf start to come out, and another 3 spears there as well. So total recovery by the end of summer, that'll look back to normal. Didn't really have any concern with that one, because I did think that'd come back, just due to the fact that the rest of the foliage was in such good condition still. Alright, let's move on to the small Jubea chilensis. And again, this has been outside like all these palms for 4 winters now, and I have covered it in the past, and now, or last winter, I didn't bother. I thought we'd test the limits, but anyway, so this actually spear pulled quite nastily, but as we can see, we've got 3 or 4 nice little spears pushing out there. And you're going to have to bear with me now because the gimbal battery is just gone, so it's going to be a bit wobbly maybe. We've got another Chamaerops here which got a lot of spotting on it, and that's spear pulled, but that is coming through as well. But the thing I was most surprised about really was all the Chamaerops. So I'm not going to show you every single one, but basically nearly everyone in the ground spear pulled. So we'll start off with this little one here. Small one here, spear pull, and totally recovered. This one was actually alright, just had a little bit of damage on the emerging leaf, but we've got 3 Chamaerops here which all spear pulled, and now they're all pushing out new growth, as we can see. This one didn't spear pull, but it did get some damage on the emerging leaf again. So basically, most of the Chamaerops in the ground, I'd say at least 60% of them spear pulled, and the rest got damage. Another one here, spear pulled, but again, totally grown out with it now. So yeah, the Chamaerops in the ground, most took damage, other than the one, which was the volcano, which had no damage at all. I think it's just due to how sturdy this thing is. Yeah, no damage on that whatsoever, not even hardly any ground spotting or anything on that. While we're doing the palms, let's just have a quick look at the Washingtonia robusta. So this pretty much all browned off, and as we can see, all 3 trunks are all pushing out new growth. And now the weather's kicking in, that should really take off and look good by midsummer, hopefully. So we said we had good recovery on most of the palms. It's just the one that we were waiting for, and I'm still waiting. And the most annoying, because this is the one that I can't really replace, and this is the Paogybeia Torrellii, which I've got a cloche hanging over it to keep it dry and keep the heat units going in, even when it's warm like this. The trunk itself is solid, so I'm not going to give up on it. And it's hard to see down there because there's a lot of fibres on the trunk, so we're just going to let nature take its course on that one, and we'll see. Hopefully in the next month, if it's going to regrow, we might see some green on that. Right, so like I say, we're pretty much 100% recovery, apart from that Paogybeia, and even the Washingtonia robustas, which I had to cut back, are starting to regrow. We have got a double trunk here, and we can see where I cut it back, and we can see the dead growth got pushed out, and that's now pushing out. So the lesson we've learned from that winter is be a bit more proactive, and if we are going to get a short-lived really cold spell, I will protect things a little bit better. So that's my own laziness on that. Right, so we'll leave it there. Just a little update on the palms, and like I say, pleased to report most have recovered nicely. Right, thanks for watching.